Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Tonight I'm going to do a couple of questions for someone who sent me some problems. So I'm going to get started here in just a second. If you want to send me some math problems, that would be fine. Hold on, let me get started. Okay, so first question. It says solve for x. So to solve for this question here, the first thing I would want to do is get rid of the fraction. So I need to get rid of my denominator. So I am going to multiply both sides of the equation by 9 because that is my denominator. Okay, so this is going to eliminate the fraction on the right hand side. On the left hand side, and on the right hand side you're left with 9x. So now I have 12 plus negative 3x plus 6 is equal to 9x. And then on the left hand side, I'm going to combine like terms before I start actually maneuvering them. So I'm going to rewrite this as 12 plus, no, I want to get rid of that. Well, yeah, 12 minus, I can do that, 12 minus 3x. I'm thinking I'm skipping too many steps at the beginning. And I might be doing that. Let me not do that. Let me erase it. Let me not skip steps. So basically with this parentheses here, you could think of this as a 1 in front of it. Of the parentheses, it's almost like you're distributing the 1. So when I do that, I'm just multiplying this 1 by negative 3x and by 6. So I will rewrite this as 12 plus, and this is still going to be negative 3x. And I'm going to put that back in parentheses, and then I'm going to say plus 6 is equal to 9x. Now, this portion here where you got the double signs, you can just make it one sign. And because they are different, you can make it a 1. A negative sign, okay? So this is going to be 12 minus 3x and then plus 6 is equal to 9x. And now I'm going to combine like terms, the 12 and the plus 6. It's going to give me 18 minus 3x is equal to 9x. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And I get my 0 pair on the left hand side, and I'm left with 18 is equal to 12x. In order to solve for x, I need to divide both sides by 12. And I can simplify, because now I'm left with 18 over 12 is equal to x. Now I can simplify this fraction by dividing both my numerator and my denominator by 6. And I get 3 over 2 is equal to x. And in this case, that would be answer choice A. Okay, let's go to the next question. For this question here, it says Mario and Luigi start at the same spot. Luigi's car moves at a speed of 62 miles per hour, and Mario's car drives at a speed of 47 miles per hour in opposite directions. If both drivers maintain a constant, I believe it's supposed to be constant. It says contact, but I think it's supposed to be constant. So I maybe cross that out. And I think that is supposed to be constant. So that's what makes sense to me. So both maintain a constant speed. About how many minutes will it take for them to be 77 miles away from each other? So before I start actually doing the calculations of this problem, I would like to actually give you a visual. So, so Mario and Luigi start at the same spot. So here's the spot that they're starting at. One person goes one direction and the other person goes the other direction. So we'll say Mario goes this way and Luigi goes this way. And it really doesn't matter because they didn't really say. All we know that at some point the two are going to be 77 miles apart. We also know that Mario is traveling at a speed of 47 miles per hour, so 47 mph. And we know that Luigi is traveling at 62 miles per hour. Okay? We want to know how much time is it going to take them to be apart 77 miles. And the time has to be measured in minutes. So this problem relates back to the function or the formula D equals RT, which is distance equals rate times time. So we let's take Mario for instance. We don't know who's traveling how far. It's like, is Mario going 30 and is Luigi going 47 miles? We don't know that. But we do know that in order to calculate Mario's distance, it's going to be R times T. So Mario's distance is going to be 47 miles per hour times T. And we know that Luigi, his distance is going to be 62 miles per hour times T. But we know together they're doing 77 miles apart, okay? So to set this problem up, we do it like this. We still use distance equals rate times time, but in this case, we're going to say 77 miles is equal to their rate that is combined. So we'll say 47t plus 462t. And that's times time. Since it's already a times time with both of them, we don't have to say times t because it's already there. So now we just add it together. So we have 77 plus, and what is 47 plus 62? This is going to be 109. So 109t, and we're going to divide both sides by 109. And so, let's get my calculator because there's a lot going on here. This is going to be 77 divided by 109. And we get a long number, 0.706. 4, 2, and so on. Now, what we, sorry, something popping up on my screen. Okay, so what we know that this information here is in hours. But they want the answer to be in minutes. So what we know is that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So we got to do some converting. So in order to do that, and I'm going to do that in a different color, you have 0.706, and this is hours, times, and you make this into a fraction. And so this is going to be 60 minutes over 1 hour. And you can cancel out the hours and just multiply the 60 minutes times the 0.706. And so when I do that, I get 42.385. So it says about how many minutes this is going to be. And so the answer I would select is D, 42. That's it for this question. Let's go to the next one. Again, this is for someone who emailed me earlier, and they emailed me 4 questions that they were having trouble with, so I'm doing it for them. But if you have a question, you can text me at 407-801-9255. Okay, so the next question says, a square playground is built using 314 feet of fencing. About how many square feet does this fence contain? So let's draw a picture. We have a square to represent our playground. And when they say 314 feet of fencing, that is the amount of fencing that is around the playground. So that represents our perimeter. So our perimeter is 314 feet. Okay? In order to calculate perimeter of a square, you add up all 4 of the sides. So really you have x plus x plus x plus x is equal to 314. Because in a square, all the sides are the same length, so you can name them all x. This is going to be 4x is equal to 314. Divide both sides by 4. And so x is going to equal 314 divided by 4. It's going to get 78.5. Now this is 78.5 feet. So that means that that is what each side is equal to. Now in order to find the area, you need to say area of a square is area is equal to x squared. So this is going to be area is equal to 78.5 squared. And that is going to give you 6,162 and 2,500 square feet. Now the question says about how many square feet. So that means we need to round, and our answer is going to be B, 62 square feet. All right. Now this is the last question that the person sent me. So it says, which of the following is a solution for this inequality? So this is what they call it. This is a compound inequality. Okay, so you just, whatever you do to one side of the inequality, you got to do to the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the fraction part, which is in the middle of our problem. So in order to do that, I need to multiply the 4 by 6 and this 8 by 6. So this is going to be 24 is less than negative 3x plus 10, which is less than 48. Now, just solving this like a regular equation, but I'm doing it to both of the numbers at the same time. So it's going to be subtract 10 from the 48 and subtract 10 from the 24. So this is going to be 14 is less than negative 3x less than 38. Last step is to divide everything by negative 3. Now here's the rule you have to remember. When you are dividing or multiplying by a negative number, when you're working with inequalities, you have to switch the direction of the inequality. So this is going to be negative 14 over, negative 14 over 3. So let me just write this to the side. Negative 14 over 3 is really going to be negative 4 2/3. Okay? So this is going to be negative 4 2/3. And I got to switch the direction of the inequality. So now it looks like this. And now I have x. And so this one has to be switched as well. So we have negative 38 over 3. And this is going to be negative 12 and 2/3. Okay? So this is negative 12 and 2/3. So really the inequality really looks like the opposite way. I can rewrite this as negative 12 and 2/3 is less than x less than negative 4 and 2/3. Okay? So the question is like, which of the following is a solution of this inequality? Well, with the inequality, there are like infinitely many solutions. But which of the solutions would it be, A, B, or C? In this case, is negative 4 in between these two numbers? No, it is not. Negative 4 would be before the negative 4 and 2/3. Is negative 5.5 in between these two numbers? Yes, it is. So I would pick this one. Okay? Negative 2.5 is going to be before the negative 4 and 2/3. And positive 17 over 3 is just not even a contender because it's positive. Okay? So other than that, those are the 4 questions that I had to do. And I see Amanda is watching. So Amanda, this is for you. And that's it. That's all I have for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this live so that Amanda could look at all of her questions again. And Amanda, this will be on my Mrs. Taylor's math page. So I'm going to stop this. And if you have questions, Amanda, you can always text me. All right. Thank you guys, and you have a good night. Bye-bye.